Okay, so sorry about that. Just realized the video was about to shut me off. So let's just finish up. It's not going to take too long here. So as I was talking about finding the range, I was going to mention another way that this could be done is, again, like in a table format, where you could have x here and you could have g of x here, like so. So you could put, let's say, 1 here, and then when you plug in 1, you would get -8. So you could do something like that and set it up in a more of a table format. But usually they're going to have it written as a set. So just thought you would know that that's another way. So the last problem here is identifying an appropriate or reasonable domain and range for a given situation. So in this given situation, we're talking about paint. So what it tells us here is it gives us a function rule. And, oh, I'm not on my highlighter. So the function rule here, A of Q equals 100 times Q, where A of Q represents in square feet and Q represents the quart of paint, the quarts of paint that cover. So they want to know what domain and range are reasonable for this function when we're talking about painting the trim on our house. So what we want to do first is identify, let's look at the quarts first. So let's say, okay, so it says here we have 7 quarts of paint to paint the trim of our house. So I'm going to say that I can use anywhere from 0 quarts of paint all the way up to 7 quarts of paint. So we're going to have to write that as an inequality. So this would represent my domain. So I can put that also here. So my domain would be anywhere from 0, so less than or equal to Q, which is less than or equal to 7. So that would be my range for how many quarts I could use to paint the trim. Now we also have to look at our function rule and determine how much square feet could we then paint with that amount of paint. So the next part is going to be our feet squared, and this would be considered our range or our Y value. So if we take 7 and plug it in for Q here, we would end up with 700 square feet. So we could be anywhere between no painting at all at 0 square feet to all the way up to 700 square feet. So again, I would write that as an inequality. A of Q, I'm just going to use their notation, and has to be between 700. So our quarts, we can use up to 7 quarts of paint, and quarts really isn't that much. Usually, I know that when I painted this past summer, we had to buy it in the gallons, because when you're painting even a room, you know, you're going to probably buy at least 2 gallons of paint, or more, depending on the color and how many coats you want and things like that. But I digress, I should say. So just this would be an inequality to show our range of values that would be reasonable for this function and for this situation. So hopefully that helped there. We are going to now complete the assignment over this unit. So make sure that you check the website and look for the numbers that you need to do out of the book today. Okay? Have a good day. I'm done.